enforcement headquarters and the home of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. News to Share reports the group specifically focused on deaths of detainees, who they memorialized by placing flowers and photos at both locations.
We're here in front of ICE, the agency that is helping Donald Trump terrorize our communities.
The activists view Bezos as complicit in President Trump's immigration policies because Amazon provides technology to ICE. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
The Onion looks back at This Week in History. On July 21st, 2007, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, the final installment in the widely popular Harry Potter series, was released, as excited fans all over the world eagerly flipped to the book's final pages to find out if Harry and Lord Voldemort finally
Author J.K. Rowling had already succeeded in creating one of the most popular literary franchises of all time. And of course, much of that success was owed to the expertly crafted sexual tension that steadily built up between the series' protagonist, schoolboy wizard Harry Potter, and the Dark Lord Voldemort. Everyone in the country wanted to know whether or not they would and if they did how many times would they and who would be who.
And that was what happened this week in history. In the words of Mother Teresa, if there is one lesson to learn from the past, it's that no matter what you do, there will always be a bunch more crippled dying kids.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do on Free Talk Live. That's why we named it Free Talk Live. We are live. If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, and you're hearing my voice, we are live. And that's true nearly every day of the year. It's Mark with you.
And Chris.
And J-Love.
J-Love, thank you for sitting in with us.
Sure.
We will get an introduction from you here shortly, but let's go. Let's get right into the meat of it all. If you want to call in and talk about whatever you want to talk about, that's fine. The number, 855-450-3733. That's 855-450. Free as in freedom. And we also have the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com. But usually the Democrats will dance around this particular issue.
Just, sort of say that, if we came into power, we might do some things.
Yep. Beto O'Rourke, on the other hand, standing firmly aloft the poop deck of his sinking ship, is ready to go ahead and take a stand on firearms. And he's made that stand very clear. Well, as clear as somebody who really doesn't know that much about firearms can make it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Tyrants usually dance around the issue.
Yeah.
We're not going to do this. We're just going to implement some control just to make sure we keep people safe. And then they take all your rights.
Yep. So O'Rourke, during the debate, I'm just going to, it's just quoted right here. I could play the audio, but, whatever. I'll just read it right here. I am against for confiscating weapons if it's a weapon that was designed to kill people on a battlefield. Weapons that were designed to kill people not on battlefields, perfectly okay.
Oh, okay, good.
With Mr. O'Rourke. Good, because that's what firearms are. Right? Like a handgun,
Yeah.
If you have a handgun, it was probably built to kill a Homo sapien.
They pretty much, that's one purpose.
Bears, cougars,
people.
Four-legged kind, and people. And that's pretty much what you've got a handgun for. And going on. So if they have a high impact, high velocity round, isn't that describe a rifle?
It does.
Okay. Round, when it hits you, your body shreds everything inside your body because it's designed to do that so that you would bleed to death on a battlefield, not be able to get up and kill one of our soldiers. So at that point, you're talking about a fragmentation round, which is not having anything to do with the gun. It's the round that's fired, if that's what he's worried about, right? Chris, you're a bit of an expert in this area.
Well, I'm never an expert in anything, but I will say that different rounds have different characteristics, and they can do varying amounts of damage. The most of the damage that's caused by an M16 round isn't caused by fragmentation. It's because it tumbles.
It's a tumbling round, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what really bangs people up.
Yep.
But other rounds, they're like a hollow point or something like that. It's the cavitation when it hits the body.
They're all designed to kill people.
Yeah, and then it expands. Or they're designed to kill deer. Some rounds are better for that, and they're much more powerful than an M16.
So if a round is designed to kill a deer, what is going to be the difference between that round that is designed to kill a person?
Well, in the case of the AR-15, those are designed to tumble, and those are designed to hit human flesh and do bad things, or to shoot targets. It's whatever you're using it for. It's not like they come down to a design and say, this gun will only be used for killing people, or that it has no other use. The AR-15 platform is hugely popular in the West as a varmint rifle.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a fast round, and it's got a reasonably flat trajectory and allows you to shoot stuff like coyotes. That's a great round for that.
It doesn't have much of a recoil either, in my experience.
Yeah, it's very easy to get a second shot off.
Which makes Joe Biden's claim that women should just go get a double-barrel shotgun to solve the problem. J-Love, have you ever fired a double-barreled shotgun?
I have not.
Regular shotgun?
No, I just recently fired an AK-47 for the first time at a shooting range, and we did go out to the same range with a shotgun and some clay pigeons. So I want to shoot those next time myself.
I see. So a shotgun, my wife really hated shooting that. It's just, it doesn't make her very happy. The AR, it's much less of a painful operation for a woman. So anyway, going on here with the statement. Let's see. When we see that being used against children, and in Odessa, I met the mother of a 15-year-old girl who was shot by an AR-15, and that mother watched her bleed to death over the course of an hour because so many other people were shot by that AR-15 in Odessa and Midland, and there weren't enough ambulances to get to them in time. Hell yes. We're going to take your AR-15s and your AK-47. So he's named off two brands.
Yep, two models. He's going to buy them up.
Now, there's, I guess brand's not the right term. There's many manufacturers of AR-type weapons.
Yes.
And would they all be called AR-15s?
There's a whole bunch of weapons that are based on the AR-15 design.
Yeah. So it has the same lower receiver piece that it doesn't even move. It's just a piece of metal.
Yeah. AR just stands for Armalite. That was the original manufacturer.
Right.
That's
an AK-47. An AK-47 is a Soviet modeled gun that's known for its durability and the ability to fire under extreme conditions.
Yep, designed by Kalashnikov.
Yep.
And very, very successful.
So applause erupts. Of course, this is a Democratic debate, and we're not gonna allow this to be used against fellow Americans anymore. I guess he thinks that with 600 million weapons in the United States, that somehow he's going to collect them from all the bad guys.
Where's that number coming from?
600 million?
Yeah.
It's just something I've seen on the internet. I like to, there's 300 million Americans and 600 million guns, presumably is what somebody has guessed.
I've heard guesses anywhere from 200 million on up.
Right. From 1 to 2 guns per American.
Well, I really blew that curve. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's guys like you that are actually doing the thing, compared to those of us who have none.
I've got you covered. I've got you covered. I've got you covered.
And O'Rourke goes on, I want to say, he's covering himself a little bit here, that I'm listening to the people of this country the day after I proposed doing that to that I went to the gun show. So he after this, he went to a gun show in Conway, Arkansas to meet with those who are selling AR-15s and AK-47s and those who are buying those weapons. And you might be surprised. There was some common ground there. Folks who said, I would willingly give that up, cut it to pieces. I don't need this weapon to hunt, to defend myself. It's a weapon of war. So let's just do the right thing, but let's bring everyone in America into a conversation. Republicans, Democrats, gun owners, and non-gunners alike.
Hold on. He talked to somebody at a gun show.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah.
That's what he's alleging. I would ask for the transcript on that one. I'm not buying that remotely.
Right. I mean,
Beto O'Rourke walked into any gun show I'd ever been, he'd be carried out on a rail, hauled out of town.
Yeah, that's not my experience at a gun show. Is the sort of attitude that he has here. But this, as far as the national conversation, is what I found most laughable. National conversation is code for you get to talk and then we ignore everything you said. Right? I mean, what else could it possibly mean? Because I'm of the opinion that human beings are born with inalienable rights. Mm-hmm. And among those rights is the right to defend yourself, and the right to build tools, and the right to contract and participate in sort of monetary fiduciary transactions. If I have those three rights, the right to defend myself, the right to build a tool, and the right to transact, then I have the right to buy a gun. And no one can say anything otherwise. Because a right isn't something that somebody can step in and say, you don't have that anymore.
Right.
The government is not an organization that grants rights. It's an organization that takes them away. And I get that there's some rights in some circumstances that you have to give up, in order to do things. I can see why they don't let you carry a handgun on your hip into a court of law, for instance. I get it. I'm fine with that. However, when you're talking about my house, yeah, maybe I do want a weapon to be able to defend myself against human beings with guns.
That's the thing. We have that right to life. That's what we talk about, but only under our terms.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE as in Free Talk Live.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit Anarchadelphia.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission. Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you like going to your job every day? If you have your own business, can you set your own schedule and take long vacations whenever you want? Are you free to do whatever you want in your dating or sex life? Probably not. There's another way to live. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses, and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Following the announcement of First Communion, The Holy Spookerist, the first hardcore pornographic movie to be filmed in Vatican City since 1982's classic adult feature Pope Fisters 4, Onion reporter spoke to Herschel Savage, director of the film.
It's a huge honor for me and everyone else involved with this film. This is where they shot Pope Fisters 4. I mean, that movie's a masterpiece. When we wrote up the script, we sent it over to the Vatican to get the Pope's approval and see if he had any notes, but he loved it just the way it was.
The highly anticipated pornographic film, which stars Ron Jeremy as the horny see himself, Pope Benedict the 69th, will reportedly contain graphic sex scenes filmed in the Sistine Chapel, St. Peter's Square, and the Pope Mobile, among various other notable sites within the Vatican.
Well, actually, I'm just watching a cut of this amazing scene we shot last night where Pope Benedict is gangbanging a bunch of nuns in his bed, and it was great because the Pope let us use his bedroom. Tomorrow we're shooting the scene where two nuns f*** each other on St. Peter's tomb using strap-on crucifixes. I think people are really going to like this movie.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Come on, call in. The number's 855-450-3733. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
And J-Love.
And you can call in about anything. We're talking about guns, which is something that libertarians love to talk about. And in this case, Beto O'Rourke, hoping to take over the highest seat in the land, actually probably the world, the President of the United States. And if he gets his way, then he's going to take away your AR-15s and your AK-47s. But he's going to have a national conversation about taking them away. And then take them away. It's by the sounds of it.
For that.
Yeah. Another thing that libertarians like to talk about is gold. It's not like no president ever took away the gold. That happened too. In the 1930s.
Thank you, FDR.
FDR took away people's gold. Now, thanks to, frankly, the guy who founded McIlvaney ICA and another handful of other folks, it is legal again to own gold. And as a matter of fact, gold's been on the move here recently, hitting highs for the last near decade. And you can go to McIlvaney ICA and get a free report that you can download if you'd like to learn more about investing in precious metals. Now's the time to take a look. It doesn't look like, I don't want to jinx the stock market by saying anything, but, it's been a bull market for a long time, and things are looking rather volatile these days. The report is the 6 advantages of adding precious metals to your IRA and how you can double your ounces. So McIlvaney ICA is unique in so much as they have a program that allows you to increase the number of ounces of gold or silver that you have. And that's pretty cool because, gold doesn't reproduce like bunnies. Go check them out. It's the website is ICAgoldsilver.com. It's ICAgoldsilver.com, and they've got a telephone number here, 800-525-9556. It's 800-525-9556, ICAgoldsilver.com. I think it's a good idea to have some precious metals right now. I certainly do. ICAgoldsilver.com. Getting back to Beto O'Rourke and his national conversation to take away your AR-15s and AK-47s.
Can I just have my conversation with him right now?
Sure, go ahead.
And just say no.
No thanks.
No thanks. I appreciate it, but I say no.
Right. Freedom is the ability to say no thanks.
Right.
Right? Tyranny is ignoring it. Ignoring somebody's, not wanting to go along with your little scheme.
I'm going to say no. Beta, if you could mark me down and just put a no there, I'm not even interested in that conversation.
Right. And it's interesting that he's picked out the AR and AK platforms here. I mean, are they scary? Do they get a lot of news? Yes. These are designed around what were called weapons of war at one point, but I mean, there's some distinct differences.
Well,
between the AK-47 and the sort of Kalashnikov rifle that we see on a battlefield,
right,
and the AR-15 and the M16.
Well, I love when that's the first thing when they talk about AR-15s, weapons of war. The AR-15 was designed as a civilian weapon. That was the first iteration. The first thing, before any armies were using them, you could buy one just as a citizen.
It's a semi-automatic rifle.
It was a semi-automatic sporting rifle, and that's what its original market was. But no, and I don't even know what makes something, if it's, maybe don't focus on weapon of war and just focus on wars and why we still have so many. But it's asinine. And it's demonization. This is the same demonization that is going on with nicotine and vaping. And it makes no more sense there. The numbers, and I don't want to belittle people that are killed in mass shootings. But the facts are the facts, and somewhere less than 3% of all deaths by firearm are with an assault rifle.
Assault rifle or...
What? Let me rephrase that. Somewhere around 3% are using a rifle of any kind. That includes suicides. Handguns are much more
prevalent,
likely to be used in a crime,
sure,
whether that's murder or robbery or anything
conceal.
Else. Yeah. So I just it's a misnomer.
Let's go to Eugene calling in from New York. Eugene, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hi, I was just calling in. I've never heard really this debate framed around the idea that what about a reflection of what the domestic police are allowed to arm themselves with? I think the public ought to, under the Second Amendment, be allowed to arm themselves equally. You know, it takes away from that idea that, some people say, well, the military's got nukes, then, do you think the Second Amendment should afford you nukes? Which I think is rather silly. What about just, in the spirit of the Second Amendment and, the idea of checks and balances with the federal government and the state, why not frame it in that sense?
I think that's basically what we have today. Not to say that your idea is bad. I get that. What this is, you're talking about framing the message, and I'm with you that you got to frame the message. I would say that nukes cannot be used defensively, so therefore, you can't use it against an individual, right? An individual can threaten you, and you can do harm to that individual or whatever, but you can't use a nuke to do it because that individual would have to be in the middle of some deserted ANWR, right? The Alaskan Wildlife National Refuge or something, in order to use a nuke on them. So nukes aren't.
Well, and Mark, I'm a little low on cash. I don't really have Manhattan Project cash laying around.
They're expensive.
Yeah, so
they're prohibitively expensive.
To me, it's kind of a silly argument. I like your idea. It is reflective of, like Mark says, of the truth today. Even up to automatic weapons, ones that you pull the trigger and lots of bullets come out.
Do police have?
Police have those.
Okay.
I would like to see the law made a little more equal. So
automatic weapons aren't illegal. There's a license for them.
There is. It's a very long, arduous process, and I'd like to make it more like buying, like a police department needs to get an automatic weapon. I'd like to be able to buy it the same way they do.
Well, from New York.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't have a 30-round clip in New York,
yeah,
but I'm sure the SWAT teams can.
You're probably right.
And there's a lot of things that the police have at their dispense that the public does not have. And, the way I see it, it's going farther and farther away from any sort of equal arms in that sense. And I think if you were to talk about it like that, because both sides of the aisle, I don't think the Democrats are really all that cop friendly anymore, and they may, see this.
They might find that to be a convincing argument. I'm with you. Thank you for the call, Eugene. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Ben.
The one thing I would point out is that the Second Amendment was written by people who just recently got finished putting holes center of mass in their government, right? So they were actually advocating for, best I can tell, weapons of war.
Yeah.
That civilians in the militia should be able to own weapons of war in order to be able to fight a war against a tyrannical government. The number, 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE.
Business owners, you want more customers? Accept cryptocurrencies. There's people all around you just waiting to spend money at your store. If only you would take it. I know, you've been waiting till someone else makes it easy. Well, good news. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com adds Bitcoin to your point of sale, totally free. Use the same equipment you already have, now with Bitcoin. And unlike credit cards, there's no fees. Let the guys at HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com bring new customers to your store. HelpMeTakeBitcoin.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means, stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Fact. The new NSA data center in Utah requires 1.7 million gallons of water every single day to operate. Billions of Fourth Amendment violations need massive computers and the water to cool them. That water is being supplied by the state of Utah. Fact. There's absolutely nothing in the Constitution which requires your state to help the feds violate your rights. Our message to Utah: turn it off. No water equals no NSA data center. Visit offnow.org.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live Saturday night edition. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. We're talking about Beto O'Rourke and his penchant for confiscating AR-15s and AK-47s. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
And J-Love.
The number 855-450-3733. Want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. For those of you who have been informed that Bitcoin is dead, I am afraid that has been said way too many times to ever be true again. That's just not going to happen. Bitcoin is alive and well, and as a matter of fact, Bitcoin's had babies. There's lots of little cryptos out there, and Bitcoin's morphed into different market segments. One of those is Bitcoin Cash. If you want to find out all about Bitcoin and what's going on, the news, how to use it, the beginner setup, there's a great getting started section right there at the top of Bitcoin.com. You can go to the Bitcoin.com, and it takes you step by step to understand what cryptocurrencies are, because you probably are going to need to understand these things. They are coming down the pike. And I know that the big banks don't like it. I know governments, which have been able to traditionally create money out of thin air to do whatever they want, they don't like it. But accountability is something that we seem to want a bit more of. The citizenry wants a bit more of, and Bitcoin definitely helps to give that. Go check it out, Bitcoin.com. Check out their Getting Started section. Check out their news section. They have ways for you to buy Bitcoin right there. They have ways for you to, the applications, the wallet apps that you use on your phone to store it, and ways to buy it even anonymously, like local.bitcoin.com. It's all at Bitcoin.com. Go check it out. Let's get to the phones. Talk to Matt calling in from Aberdeen, Washington. Matt, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, you were talking about, if there were a civil war in America against the government.
I was. Okay. I see. I was talking about the Revolutionary War when the United States separated from England. So, yes, there was a civil war in so much as the United States revolted against its government. Yes, go ahead.
Right. Well, let's say the same thing happened today.
Okay.
The American people do not have howitzer cannons. They don't have fighter jets.
Oh, I love this one.
They don't have the means to fight back. And my question to you is, who would support an American revolution? Would it be Russia that would be bringing in tanks and howitzers and rockets and stuff for the Americans? Because nobody's going to fight the government with an AR-15.
Can I take a shot at that?
Sure.
I have a couple words that I like to use when we have this conversation. What do you do against the greatest military power in the world? I say Afghanistan.
Right.
I say the Taliban. You've got a bunch of literally, and because this is an honorable profession, goat herders living in caves with a 30-year-old AK-47 that the Russians accidentally left behind when they found out they couldn't beat them either. So I think the idea that if we're only going to measure military strength one way, it completely ignores the idea of guerrilla warfare. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to sign up for a guerrilla war against our government. That's the last thing I'm saying, dear NSA handler, who's probably listening to me right now. But that's the reality, is that this would, if anything ever did rise up against our government, it would be very unconventional, and it would probably...
Right, I think that's the difference here, is conventional versus unconventional.
War.
I suspect the tank has probably been used the last time in the 1990s in the first Gulf War, and that it won't be used again. It just simply will not be used again. I mean, maybe as a crowd control device, but the large cannon on a tank has been fired in anger the last time. Is my opinion on the subject. I could be wrong. As far as a conventional war goes, I don't think there'll be a conventional war between the United States and its citizenry. I think that the Second Amendment was written by people who had just fought a war with the intention that that violence is a way to handle a government. That method has become successively less useful throughout history from that time till now. So there's a book called Why Civil Resistance Works. It's written by a professor named Erica Chenoweth and another professor whose name escapes me. And it outlines the use of civil resistance versus military resistance by sort of revolutionary factions throughout the world from 1900 to the year 2000. And it shows not only that civil resistance is 3 times as effective, but that it has gotten more effective as communication systems have gotten better. So I think the revolution is constantly going on, and it's going on through the ballot box, in people's minds and things like that. And I don't think it's going to come down to a shooting war against American soldiers shooting American citizens. Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I hope not. I think it's gonna. If it does happen, it's gonna start with Americans fighting Americans.
Over what?
Over whatever it is they're fighting about today.
Yeah.
It seems like the Democrats and the Republicans just disagree on everything. And go ahead.
Right versus left. Right versus left. LGBT against conservatives, things like that. But it won't escalate to fighting the government until way later. Way later.
Well, yeah, thanks for the call, Matt. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would say that, first off, you need to look at the political parties that control the military. So if you look at the officers versus, Democrat versus Republican, it is staggeringly Republican.
Mm-hmm.
The officer corps in the United States, especially when you're looking at, the older officers, which matter. I'm sorry, lieutenants, captains, majors.
Sorry, Lieutenant Dan.
Even lieutenant colonels. Yeah, but I'll keep them on the list. Not lieutenant colonels. Lieutenant colonels on up. The numbers are staggeringly Republican. And so what side are they going to fall on? Also, the Democrats strategically have they only have some strongholds that nobody wants.
Right.
From a strategic standpoint, why do you want to take Manhattan?
Oh, it's all yours.
Yeah.
I'll concede on behalf of every right-thinking person on the planet.
Right.
You got it.
Right. You could have LA. I mean, these places aren't they don't grow food there. Right? Democrats versus Republicans. Hey, look, I'm only talking about a war here, like a revolution between the two sides. I don't want it. I'm not looking for it. But if there were, for whatever reason, he'd mentioned the gays fighting the conservatives.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I support the conservatives' stance on gay marriage. I do not. But I'll take the conservatives over the gays in a pitched battle any frickin' day.
If you were a betting man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, but
what the Democrats want to do is desperately avoid an armed conflict.
Yeah.
Really.
I think he brought up an interesting point, though, and I think it is ideological. I mean, the issue now is this country is so polarized, which makes it interesting for us libertarians to sit in the middle and look back and forth and go,
how do you feel about it, J. Love? I mean, when you hear these sort of, there's going to be a Civil War conversations.
Well, I mean, I think that we just really should focus on building alternatives, but and be prepared for all of those options.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, conversation's a lot less deadly.
Yeah.
It's frustrating because I hear other people's opinions and they suck. That's the kind of vain thing that sort of everybody thinks about their own opinion, is everybody else's opinion sucks.
They think
Sure, they think that about mine too. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. If you think my opinion sucks, here's the telephone number. That's 855-450-FREE.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Hey, is that a new music app?
Yeah, check it out. Surfer Music Discovery. It links to thousands of online stations, but the twist is you see the song names and artists that are now playing live.
That's different. No guessing. Looks like a waterfall of music.
So many formats. Rock, oldies, country, R&B, jazz, and a whole lot more.
How's that spelled?
Surfer. S-U-R-F-R.
Is it expensive?
It's free. No need to sign up or sign in.
Get the Surfer Music app free from Google Play or the App Store.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state, until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Hey, it's Free Talk Live. Call in. Talk about whatever is on your mind. We were started off tonight with Beto O'Rourke's statements that he wants to confiscate your AR-15 and AK-47s. He's very specific about the models of guns that he does not like, because these are weapons of war, as he says it. Forget the fact that, the AR-15 was designed for the civilian market. Big deal. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
And J-Love.
And we got, on to different topics here, like what does the Second Amendment mean? What does it look like in modern society? And what would a Second American Revolution look like? That's always a fun one everybody likes to talk about. What if there was a civil war? Well, I want to know who the other side is, because I don't hate enough Americans that I want to get into a shooting war with them.
You know what I'd like to see happen? I would like to see Republicans get so sick and tired of things like this idea that everybody's taking guns, and I would like to see Democrats get so irate over, changes to immigration policy and, all these things that they team up and they attack Washington, which would be a fight worth having. Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives, against a central despotic power.
You took an oath when you were in the military to protect me against enemies foreign and domestic, right?
And I think there are a lot more domestic enemies than there are foreign enemies.
There's plenty of great people in Washington, D.C. I've been there, but I'm pretty sure some enemies domestic are living there too. Like, I think I've seen them on TV. Let's go to the phones here. Robert calling in from Charleston, South Carolina. Robert, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, I just wanted to point out that actually there are plenty of gay people among conservatives in the most powerful positions, and therefore if you were to, but they don't, the world doesn't know that they're gay. But and therefore, if you were to pick which side to be on, if you pick the gay side versus the conservative side, actually, on the other side, you'd have plenty of people who are of the same mental opinion, or in the same psychology. In other words, gay people on the other side as well.
Right. I think they call them log cabin Republicans. But I've got gay friends, and what they say is that there's a strong bias in the gay community. When people, I don't know what the split is, but I'm guessing the split's more like 80-20 than it is like 50-50. And it's because, for whatever reason, the narrative is that the Republican Party hates gays and that the Democratic Party is the welcoming aspect of it. You got any thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, I don't think the Republican Party hates gays, really. I think there might be a small fraction of people who are suppressing their homosexual side, and as part of doing that, they have a tendency to use a defense mechanism of projection. Therefore, it comes out to look that way, but they themselves typically
There's a lot of evidence for what you've just said. I mean, when these politicians that are the worst on sort of homosexual issues, all you have to do is watch them for a little while, and then sure enough, they're in a bathroom stall with some guy at an airport.
The guy who was the biggest advocate for conversion therapy, I think he was, pretty much a conservative and just came out and said, I can't do this anymore.
It just keeps happening. Every couple of years, there's another one. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Robert.
Exactly. Whether you want to talk about the most powerful family in the world that has a gay member, you want to talk about the top justices, that would be military justice. He was discovered in a park a long time ago in Lady Bird Park having sex with somebody. If you want to talk about actually a former president, there are gays all over the place.
Yeah.
Which former president?
You can figure it out. If you ever call me up, I mean, I can't.
I'm going to take Harry S. Truman for because he was single.
No, well, let me put it this way. I don't know if there was a reporter who claimed to see Richard Nixon secretly through the drapes holding hands with Bobo. Remember his Bibi Rebozo?
Oh, Bibi Rebozo, yeah. Yeah, but then we also had reports of Obama doing drugs in a limo with a gay prostitute. All these things always come out. Put it this way, I guarantee you some U.S. president has had a homosexual experience.
Right.
I'm willing to bet on
We're at number 44 at this point, and it has to have happened.
It has to.
It just, couldn't possibly be otherwise. Thanks for the call, Robert. I appreciate the thoughts.
You're very welcome, sir. Have a great.
Oops, I dropped him a little too soon. That's the problem with using the drop button.
Whoops.
Yeah, I think that, it's clearly obvious that, They have. And I like the fact that you said they've had a homosexual encounter as opposed to saying that they're gay, right? Like, so gay is something that happens in your head. But, and, many Christians will say, being gay is fine. It's acting on it that's the problem. Well, in this case, we're talking about we're betting dollars to donuts here that a U.S. president has had a gay experience.
Right.
Not that I don't know what's going on in their head. Most of their heads are filled with worms at this point. I have no idea what's going on. But I'm willing to bet that at 44 men that one of them has had a homosexual experience. Just a guess.
Count me in on that.
Let's go to Tom calling in from New Hampshire. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live. Listening on freetalklive.com.
There's a news story going out from the Associated Press about the family that owns the company that makes OxyContin.
Yes.
They're trying to make it sound so terrible that, look, we've just subpoenaed some banks and we found out, look at all these wire transfers, $1 billion that they wired out to Swiss banks and everything. Hello, this is what billionaires do. They have all this. They don't keep it in a checking account. They buy a house and they wire money to a trust. It doesn't even say that they're doing anything illegal.
No.
Like, let's say they submitted a financial affidavit saying this is how much we have, and they omitted those assets. That's not what they're alleging. They're just alleging stuff which is nobody's business at this point, because just like how much money you got in your savings account is nobody's business right now either. They're putting this out, and just the way they're phrasing it just makes it sound so bad.
Yeah, for some reason, people, want to go after people because they're rich, and that's just the target of a highwayman. Oh, well, there's somebody going down the road. You see a guy that looks just like a bum guy dressed in nice clothes. I'm going to rob one of them. I'll go after the guy with nice clothes. I'm not interested in that particular frame of thought. And as far as I'm concerned, anybody who's talking about it is a lazy criminal.
Well, I'll do this. I'll say that I think the Sackler family has behaved horribly and immorally in knowingly pushing a product that's going to really destroy people's lives, and there's strong indication that they knew it. And I will say I am not a fan. Now, that doesn't mean that I am a fan of saying the Sacklers all need to go to jail and we need a new law to make sure X never happens again. I just don't. I don't like them as people.
Yeah, agreed.
See, what's going on? A lot of things. The leftists and a lot of the people supporting socialism, they figure that the rich people got rich from everything, from manipulating everything from A to Z, from agricultural subsidies to zoning variances, and they say, okay, now they have to give back some of their ill-gotten gains to the poor people instead of let's do away with agricultural.
That'd be awesome if they gave it back to the poor people, but they're not going to do that. They're going to give it to the government, who is going to take it in the name of the poor people and then do whatever the hell it wants with it.
Right.
Well, not only that, but how about look at this other chess move? Let's do away with the agricultural subsidies and broadcasting license monopolies and casino license monopolies,
and everything else.
Alphabet to taxing medallions and zoning variances, so that anybody can buy some land and build a house and open a saloon or a casino or what have you, and you don't have to go in there.
Right, Tom for president.
Yeah, you have no idea what the world would look like. Thanks for the call, Tom. The number is 855-450-3733. It bears mentioning that there are different types of rich people. Some people got rich by doing exactly what Tom suggested, which is they use their connections in government to be able to do things that other people can't do. A license is simply a right you had the government took away and then sold back to you. Or they didn't sell it back to you and refused to sell it back to you. Whereas there are other rich people who simply got rich by providing a good or a service to somebody.
Better than anybody else.
Better than somebody else did. And when you make an exchange, whether it's for a cheeseburger or for one of those helicopter drones or a car, you're exchanging, the money you're exchanging is worth less to you than the item you're buying. And the money is worth more to the person who's selling it. And that's it. Business is moving stuff worth something from one location where it's worth less to a location where it's worth more. That's all business is. And some people got rich that way. And there's nothing wrong with those people, and hating on those people is, it's ignorant. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,488, silver at $17.45, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,356. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, the U.S. government has concluded that Israel set up cell phone surveillance devices that were found near the White House and other sensitive locations around Washington, D.C. According to 3 former senior U.S. officials with knowledge of the matter, according to a report from NPR. Activist Post cites the website, saying the espionage actions were done through the use of stingrays utilizing International Mobile Subscriber Identity Catchers, or IMSI catchers, which capture the contents of calls, text, and data use. That's according to forensic analysis conducted by the FBI and other agencies working on the case that stated they felt confident that Israeli agents had placed the devices, according to the former officials who spoke to NPR. U.S. President Donald Trump responded to the allegations of Israel spying on the United States by scoffing at the report. Trump told reporters that he would find it, quote, hard to believe that the Israelis had placed the devices, end quote. An Israeli embassy spokesperson denied that Israel placed the devices, saying, quote, these allegations are absolute nonsense, end quote. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report says the real United States national debt could be well over what politicians tell us. At a whopping $400 trillion, the U.S. debt would be 2,000% of GDP, according to new calculations that include the federal government, state, local, financial, and so-called entitlement debt. Activist Post reports that A.B. Bernstein, a global asset management firm based on Wall Street, came up with the figures by including in its analysis not only traditional levels of public debt, such as bonds, but also financial debt, as well as future obligations for entitlement programs. According to a report by CNBC, those include Social Security, Medicare, and public pensions, and are often left out of the discussion. They are unfunded liabilities and should be included if we're ever going to get an appropriate understanding of the government's mishandling of money. Activists on Thursday afternoon demonstrated against the detention and deportation of undocumented migrants at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement headquarters and the home of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. News to Share reports the group specifically focused on deaths of detainees, who they memorialized by placing flowers and photos at both locations.
In front of ICE, the agency that is helping Donald Trump terrorize our communities.
The activists view Bezos as complicit in President Trump's immigration policies because Amazon provides technology to ICE. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
College roommates continue their bonding process until real friends are made, and a teacher hopes they never Google him. It's time for the weekly video feature that's heartier and more comforting than a heaping bowl of mom's butternut squash soup. This is the Onion Week in Review. Longtime James F. Blaine Elementary School teacher Suzanne Pomponio told reporters today that she could not believe how much fatter her second graders are getting. Pomponio estimates that each and every one of her kids must be 8 to 10 pounds heavier than anyone in her 2011 class, adding, quote, "and those kids were pretty fat too."
Honestly, I didn't think it was possible that this year's kids could be fatter than last year's, but they are. I mean, short kids are fat, tall kids are fat, and there's a smell. I don't really know how to describe it.
Local dad Michael Carrain navigated several discount travel websites today with a precision reminiscent of 18th century Viennese prodigy Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart composing a symphony.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do on Free Talk Live, and that's why we call it Free Talk Live. If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, chances are good you can call into Free Talk Live 7 days a week and talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
And J-Love.
And as I said, anyone's free to call in and talk about whatever they want to talk about, and that includes people who are inmates at correctional facilities. I believe, this is my first time using this new system here, J-Love, so you'll forgive me. Bradley, can you hear me? Let's push that button again. Bradley, now can you hear me? Shoot. Well,
that was exciting.
Yeah, I don't know how to make that particular button work. Maybe, Chris, you know how to which button to push here? Yeah, push that phone button. Now, let's try it, Bradley. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. What's on your mind, Bradley? Sorry about the confusion.
Well, I called in today because I wanted to talk about an organization I helped start called Prisoners for Liberty.
Prisoners for Liberty, okay.
Cool.
What are you guys doing?
Well,
You're not rushing the fence or anything, right?
No, we educate people about the ideas of liberty.
Okay.
We got like maybe about a dozen people in one correctional facility. These are all libertarians that are, they're all interested in helping the cause. Believe it or not, prison's actually a pretty fertile ground for these ideas.
I heard about the ideas of liberty by talking to correctional officers, actually. Those are the ones that educated me about the topic, and, they're very convincing folks.
I'm not too surprised, actually. We gave a copy of the world's smallest political quiz to a CO, and he actually scored libertarian.
I'm sure.
Wow.
Yeah, law enforcement tends to be that way until you start talking about their union.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is that it doesn't help when you have a lot of libertarians that when they kind of the way they talk, they're anti-government or they're anti-cop, and that really doesn't help things. So a lot of these people are just regular, everyday people just trying to do a job.
Yep, just people doing a job. It's absolutely true.
But we're doing pretty good. We're only a couple months old now, and our meeting sizes are pretty good. Actually, I just got back from a meeting.
So is it just at your prison, or is this some national organization? I imagine it's difficult to nationally organize as convicts.
Yeah, it's just at this prison right now. We want to get 501c3 status eventually, but that's hard to do when you're inside prison.
I imagine it is. And what prison is it?
Parnell Correctional Facility at Jackson, Michigan.
Okay.
Is that a federal prison?
Is that federal or state?
Yep. State.
State prison?
Gotcha.
Oh, very good.
Level 1 prison. It's the lowest level of security.
What are you hoping for from people on the outside?
Well, if anybody's interested in helping, and I mean anybody, we could use any kind of help. If they want to run our Facebook page, because if you go on Facebook and you look at us, it's not very professionally put together. So if somebody wants to moderate our Facebook page, create us a website, if they want to help us with more complicated things like getting us 501c3 status or sending us literature that we can pass out in here, anything, really.
I could put the word out for people with those skills. Yeah. I got your page right now.
And that's what he's done here, too.
Yep.
Thanks for the call, Bradley, and all the best in there. And, don't drop the soap or whatever. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Yeah, I mean, it's an outreach organization, and, there's people that got some time to study. They've got the time to read Rothbard and Ludwig von Mises. So, it's a good thing. Speaking of people who should do some reading, Beto O'Rourke here has claimed that he's prepared to take people's AR-15s and AK-47s, and that's because they're weapons of war. And Chris, you had mentioned that, in fact, the AR-15 was made for the civilian market.
Yeah.
And, if you've got some thoughts on this, he says he wants to bring together a national conversation of Republicans, Democrats, gun owners, and non-gun owners alike. But it doesn't, he says that at the end, but first he says he's going to confiscate these weapons, and then he says he wants to have a conversation.
Yeah.
That's not a conversation.
It's not really how it works.
You can have a conversation as you're confiscating people's guns, but, the way it's being used here suggests that everybody gets an equal share at the table, and honestly, I don't want people to have an equal share of my rights.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a right. It's not a law. What does the Second Amendment grant you? The Second Amendment doesn't do anything. It tells government what they can't do. That's the difference.
And there's 20,000 gun laws in this country.
Right.
Second Amendment's very clear, shall not be infringed. So there's 20,000 laws infringing.
Right.
So I don't even understand how those things can hold up in a court of law. I presume gun owners have had lots and lots of lawsuits. I can't understand how these things could go to a court of law and say, look, it says shall not be infringed. This is an infringement. You can't do this.
Well, lawyers, and by lawyers I mean judges.
They are lawyers.
They want to come up with something to make everybody happy. Or if they tend to be more conservative in their views, they want to make people happy that way. Or
liberal in the other way.
It's the same thing. And it's just people have gotten used to judges making decisions that, they hope are going to go their way. And most of these things don't. The Constitution is not a complicated.
It wasn't intended to be complicated.
It was intended for the average person on the street to be able to read, and that's what it is.
If they would have written the Second Amendment differently, that it didn't guarantee the right to keep and bear arms, I wonder if the Constitution would have been voted in. Remember, the Constitution was voted in by the states, not by people. I mean,
well, it was voted in with the promise that it would include a Bill of Rights.
Yeah, that was going to be clear and sacrosanct.
And that was the deal. That was the deal that got some of these states and the anti-federalists to sign up and say, yeah, we support this too, because you are going to do a Bill of Rights. If you're not going to do a Bill of Rights, then deal's off, we're out of here. That's what Virginia said. That's what Thomas Jefferson said. That's what all these people said.
And there's one thing that I do agree with Beto O'Rourke on, is that, look, I understand. Maybe you consider the Second Amendment to be archaic and an anachronism, and that life is different now. All right, I do too. Maybe you're uncomfortable with the notion of people with, strong mental illnesses carrying around handguns. I am. Maybe the Second Amendment needs to be rewritten. I'm fine with that. But at that point, there is a system for amending the Constitution of the United States.
Yep.
And you need to go through that system. You can't just write a law that says we're taking this kind of weapon or this kind of bump stock or, this accessory or whatever. You can't just change things and then, the president can't hand down an edict. Congress can't just pass a law. The Constitution says something, and today we're playing Constitution. And if you want to play the game of Constitution, then you need to change the Constitution. If not, whatever you're doing is illegal. As far as I'm concerned.
I agree. The Constitution was purposely designed to be difficult to change. These were going to be laws that it would take a real effort to do it, to make any change. The last constitutional amendment we passed, I think it was the 26th Amendment, was passed in the 90s. I think 1993 they finally got all the votes for that. Do you know when that one was proposed?
Oh, probably in the 70s.
It was proposed in 1791.
Gosh.
It took almost 200 years,
right.
Over 200 years, to get the votes necessary to make it law. That's how tough it is.
And, some states are even more clear. New Hampshire says that every man has the right to keep and bear arms in protection of his life, family, and the state, or something like that. I mean, it could not be more clear.
Yeah.
It should say every, as far as I'm concerned, man isn't the most clear term, right? Like, shouldn't women have be mentioned there too? Man or woman has the right to, keep and bear arms for whatever, right? But I get that man is a term that can be non-gender, and I'm fine with that. But I'm just saying it couldn't be much more clear. The keep and bear arms, comma, and then the militia. It's a little less clear in today's modern parlance.
Pennsylvania's got a real clear one.
But they still have laws.
Right to keep and bear arms shall not be questioned.
Right?
I like that one.
Not even going to question it, but they did. And their legislators have passed laws. How do they get away with it? 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Libertarianism is about living in a more free society. But what about living a free life? If you're stuck in a job, business, or relationship where you're not free, what good is a free society to you? You can live a more free life. I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses, and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Live Saturday night edition. Call in, talk about whatever is on your mind. It's Mark with you.
This is Chris.
And well,
J-Love.
Yeah, well, let's just go right to the call because I've got somebody on the Discord and I don't know how to mute them. So, Tritium, we're going to you. You're on Free Talk Live.
Oh man, that's crazy. Sorry, yeah, you don't have to mute me. That's funny. Yeah, I just wanted to call about something I was thinking about yesterday. Sorry, I was having a little dinner there. But yeah, something I was thinking about last night, actually, about this time. People say that there's take some issue or another issue with people in Muslim countries or Muslim majority countries or governments, and people, of course, equate governments and countries as they typically do.
Right, they say Muslim countries, right?
Well, in their own country and their own people as well. But what the reality is being a Muslim and knowing a lot of people that are not, Native Americans, but native-born Americans, but are, from overseas. And a lot of people I know are actually on student visas and stuff, not just immigrants that have been here for, plurality years. But, it's you're talking about people that are under some of the most nastiest authoritarian governments in the world, which has some of the least personal freedoms, and these governments are almost all entirely supported and backed by the United States. So I don't know the idea that these people hate us. I mean, there might be a resentment among people for the support from State Department, government, CIA, and stuff. But there's certainly these governments and these countries are actually very closely aligned. Matter of fact, they have a lot of military officers and personnel that come here for training.
The U.S. military is running around and doing all kinds of training with despotic regimes all over, and I can totally see how somebody is left confused and upset that a country that fought a revolutionary war against a king can go out there and simply support, like without basically unqualified support for countries that have kings. Saudi Arabia has a king. Doesn't make any sense at all to me. It has despotic rulers and all kinds of situations that this is un-American. It is contrary to what this country was founded upon, which was the idea that people have rights and that that they can rule themselves and these sorts of things. And the idea that we as a country, that the United States of America claims to represent Americans when it goes abroad and just throws all those values in the dirt in order to secure important things like oil and other military assets, things like that. I get it. I mean, I understand what they're doing, but when you compromise your values, if you compromise one value, you'll compromise them all.
Right.
And once you begin compromising them, you might as well just get rid of them. You might as well just call yourself what you are. You're a myrmidon. You're a shill.
Right.
And if these countries did not get the United States' support, maybe they would feel some pressure to cease being whatever they are. But I suspect, this is just me, wild speculation, that in large part 9/11 occurred because the United States government, not me, the United States government chose to support Saudi Arabia's king. And that all these despots in all these different countries, because these people are desperate. How are you going to bring about political change in the Middle East without taking the United States out of the equation? And I can't imagine how they do it. We're just talking about. I mean, the fact even Iran has its F4s or whatever F5s it's flying around. They're from the United States. They might be 40 years old, but they're still from the U.S.
Yeah, these people don't have the First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Eighth or Seventh, and all the ones that cruel, unusual punishment, bail, and all this stuff. You actually think that these are Muslim countries. They're ruled by American puppet dictators. You go to the mosque too much, you'll get spoken to. You'll get into a room with some guys that do some nasty things to you to get you to
really in Saudi Arabia you would get in trouble for going to the mosque too much.
Not in Saudi Arabia, but in a lot of these other countries, they will, and even them. And if you go to the place that says where they say the wrong thing, because they're all employed. All these preachers are employed by the king. They always say things. Oh yeah, got to be the king. Obviously, right. Like in a lot of countries. But I'll tell you, I live in a university. My Islamic community is centered around a university here, and even people from overseas studying from overseas, like a lot of our congregation are. Even these people might avoid the mosque because they're afraid somebody might inform on them, not to the U.S. government, but to their own government, and tell them they might be radicalized or wanting some kind of change or in the political change over there, and organizing and talking. And then when they come back, they'll be taken to a rather unpleasant place.
Right. I've got to say, if I were, if I was a Muslim, I wouldn't be going back to the homeland. Many Americans can go back. Maybe they're first generation, maybe they're zero generation, like they came over here, they're immigrants or whatever, and they go back to the homeland. I have a friend who's from Poland. He goes back relatively regularly to Poland. One of the reasons is dental work's really cheap there. And but if I was from a Muslim country, I don't think I'd ever go back because I'd be terrified of what would happen if I did.
Or could you ever get back here?
Right.
So it might be a one-way trip.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Tritium.
Yeah, I mean, you have some freedoms here, but once you start crossing borders, even the U.S. is not going to be that friendly to you also. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I cross borders now, and they're not that friendly to me. It doesn't feel very good as an American citizen coming back into the country, being asked a bunch of questions. Well, what are you doing out there? And, and when I go into other countries, who are these bureaucrats, and why are they asking me questions? Who are these people?
Right.
It's none of their business why I'm here. Are you here for business or pleasure? Well, I'll probably do both. I mean, is that the best question you got?
Yeah, and then
how long are you going to be here? Well, probably a couple weeks. Where are you staying? I don't know the address of the hotel. Is that what you're asking me?
Got to protect our borders, Mark.
Right. I don't get it, but hey, I get it. This is it, right? Like we're moving from this old system of master and servant to a new system of human freedom, and the vestiges are going to hang on. And frankly, the state is the master of the masters, and we never gave that up. If you've got to pay income tax, you're paying an amount on your labor, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're paying on your labor, I mean, that's what a slave is somebody that I put to work and then extract the value of their labor from them.
Well, Mark, it's the price we pay for our democracy.
I thought you were going to say freedom.
That's
because it's not that. And the United States is a democracy. It has a democratic way of electing its liars and thieves.
Supposedly, we're a republic, but evidently we couldn't keep it.
Well, there's evidence for that, too.
Yep.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Or the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com. That's why Tritium sounded so good. Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The easiest thing in the world for a reader to do is to stop reading, according to the late, great Barney Kilgore, who became managing editor of the Wall Street Journal in 1941 and grew the paper's circulation from 33,000 to 1 million by the 60s. And he'd be pleased to know that his paper is one of the few that people now pay to read online. Someone else pre-internet who realized that attention is fragile? Motown Records founder Berry Gordy. In the early 60s, when his label dominated the charts, he'd bring a dozen real people into the Hitsville, USA studios and audition songs. And he'd ask, if you were down to your last dollar, would you spend it on this record or would you buy a sandwich? Today, attention span seems like an oxymoron. For tips on cutting through the clutter, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You are free to call in, talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
And J-Love.
The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. We've been across the board tonight, from Beto O'Rourke wanting to take your AR-15 and AK-47s to, I don't know, a possible American Civil War and gay presidents. You know, that's Free Talk Live for you. On a Saturday night, we're going to get a bunch of calls from a bunch of different places on a bunch of different topics.
Neat.
And I'm going to get to the calls here real quick. But J-Love, we invited you in to sit with us, and I just wanted you to tell people about what you do for a living and what you do to make the world a better place.
Oh, well, I do know about that. So I have actually recently quit my slave job to go full-time with my entrepreneurial ventures, and right now that is currently my CBD-infused high-performance butter coffee concentrate packs, and it's called Luv Java.
I'm holding one in my hand right now.
Yay, awesome.
Nice.
It says here, infused with love. Important.
Of course.
Premium origin cold brew coffee, grass-fed butter, MCT oil. What's that?
Medium chain triglycerides from coconut oil.
Okay. Kid Sweet?
Kid Sweet is actually Bill McGonagall's product. It is a keto-friendly sweetening alternative that tastes delicious, almost like sugar.
And some cocoa powder, and then CBD.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to make into a coffee.
Absolutely. So basically...
and this is this stuff that's been called... what do they call it?
Bulletproof?
Bulletproof coffee. Yeah, that terminology.
Essentially, yes. This is my own brand of Bulletproof. There are actually many butter coffee brands now. And I have innovated on that with the CBD infusion.
Right.
And future is looking good for a exclusive sativa strained THC infused version.
Here.
Hell yeah. So that's exciting. And I basically have produced a concentrate pack so that people can make this at home without having to buy all the ingredients and mix them up. You just put the concentrate pack in your mug and add hot water, and you've got your superfood breakfast in a cup for the whole day. Keeps you healthy and smart and full, and you're basically taking advantage of an intermittent fat fasting protocol if you have it for breakfast, which can totally change your life. I call it the gateway to your health freedom.
I'm very interested in trying this out. You're getting a decaffeinated version for me.
Yeah, I recently started taking decaf. I'll totally do that.
Yeah. So let's go to the phones. So we got David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hello. Good example for you what your government does for a living. You remember? Well, first of all, under the heading once again. Special agent in charge of the FBI in the New Mexico region, upon retirement a few years back, said that New Mexico, he said it to a reporter, was going on the record, the reporter said New Mexico is the most corrupt state in the nation, bar none. And it just proves itself over and over again. You remember when the public radio station that hosts NPR, but is owned, operated by the taxpayers of the state of New Mexico, KUNM, which is the University of New Mexico radio station. When they have a call-in program called Let's Talk New Mexico, and they banned me from calling into their. They solicit callers. Call in, and we're talking about this subject. We have this guest, this senator, this whatever. Call in and comment or ask your questions, except if your name is on a blacklist that we maintain, and my name is on that list because they don't like my political.
Oh, come on!
I think this is a fascinating story because here what you have is you have all the airwaves are supposed to be public. I don't believe that crap, but that's what they say. And this is a public university taking the public airwaves with a public servant on the air, calling for the public to call in, and then they ban somebody from talking. It's one thing to say, "Oh, you've been on the air, you've said enough stuff, and goodbye," or whatever. It's another thing entirely to just say, "Nope, you can't call." And it's the whole public aspect of this. If you've got a private radio station where a private individual is going on and they're giving their opinion on something, sure, you can choose not to take somebody.
Right.
But when you take this whole representative angle and then choose to exclude a portion of the public willfully, that's a tough situation to justify,
to defend. Yeah. We have. I can think of one individual that has been banned for most of the time I've been on the air.
Yep, for threatening hosts.
For threatening, you know, and that's like threatening violence. Okay, I understand that, but we try to take David's calls, and we know what you're going to talk about. You're going to talk about something going on in New Mexico. That's okay.
Right. So anyway, the on top of what Mark just said, add to that when I call in, it's I don't call in unless it's a political issue or a legal issue, and half the time when they're speaking of something political or legal, half the time they will have a guest in that is also paid by the taxpayers, and they may even have been elected by the taxpayers. So you need to add that factor into it as well. And that's the only times that I call is if it's political or legal, because the only reason that I've ever called into any radio station in the last 10 years is because the state of New Mexico illegally trafficked my children, which, like I said, I proved by winning a unanimous appeal at the Court of Appeals in New Mexico, so I can say it. And that's the only reason I call in. And here there's a new development. You remember that they summoned me to court and they sent it to the wrong address, and so then they issued a warrant because I didn't show up in court, and they arrested me and threw me in jail for 3 days.
For what?
Pardon?
For what?
Because I had missed a court hearing that I didn't know about.
And what was that for?
Pardon?
What was that court case for? That court hearing for?
It was for this. This is public record. So
is this for the kids or is this for the radio station? I'm a little confused.
The radio station.
Okay.
The radio station called their private police force, the University of New Mexico Police Force, and made a report to the University of New Mexico Police Force, asking them to please arrest or summon me, David Olson, to court. Because I refused to take no for an answer when my publicly owned, taxpayer-owned and operated radio station told a citizen, being me, that I can't call in like everybody else can call in. I refused to take no for an answer, and since I continued to call, they called the cops, their private police.
So what happened at this court situation when you finally did show up?
When I finally did show up, in weighing all of my different options, I decided that they agreed and I agreed that I would continue to do what I'd already been doing for 2 years and not bothering to call them, even though I didn't know that there was a warrant for my arrest. But I agreed that I would continue to not call them until December of this year, and then the whole thing would just be dropped. And so that's what that happened.
So in January you can call?
What number would you be calling to, by the way? Because we might have some callers who are interested in calling up and talking about it.
Yeah, on Thursday, KUNM.org is the radio station, publicly owned, and their program, they have a page there. It's Let's Talk New Mexico. That's easy to find.
We'll find it.
And every Thursday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. my time.
Mountain time?
Yeah, Mountain time. they have the Let's Talk New Mexico, and they invite everybody to call in, and so you're welcome to do that. And the phone number is online.
Perfect. We'll find it. Hey, David, can I ask you another question? It's sort of unrelated to what you're talking about, but Sarah from New Mexico,
any idea what has happened to her? She hasn't called.
Hasn't called in months.
She must be boycotting you, because I heard her voice this morning on the local radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as she's well, that's my only concern.
That was
she used to be thanks for the call, appreciate it. She used to be a really, a steady caller, and then
like every day.
And then after this summer, we haven't heard from her at all. And I guess I just kind of thought maybe something bad had happened.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear she's still calling radio
We all
shows.
will die at some point. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Message and data rates may apply. Individual results may vary. Exclusions apply.
But hey, I'm buying a huge flat screen TV so I can finally see it without my glasses.
Why not just get LASIK at the LASIK Vision Institute? That's what I'm doing.
My glasses and contacts are a pain. I'd love to finally get rid of these, but who can afford LASIK?
You can. Because the LASIK Vision Institute is offering dramatically low prices and an absolutely free consultation. Just text DO11 to 350350. The LASIK Vision Institute has already performed over 1 million procedures. They use the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology that helps the majority of patients achieve 20/20 vision for a fraction of what others charge. Better vision, better value. The LASIK Vision Institute. Make this the year you finally get LASIK. For a free consultation plus an extra 20% discount, text DO11 to 350350. You'll see for free if LASIK is right for you. That's DO11 to 350350.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame he owed money to the IRS and they finally caught up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get to Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world. That bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less.
Call now. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. 800-590-4930. That's 800-590-4930.
Free Talk Live.
They gently kind of hang on to it or manipulate it with their mouths. The pufferfish then releases toxins that seem to intoxicate the dolphins.
He's getting high.
Apparently, there's legislation in India to consider dolphins to be non-human persons. Would dolphins be subject to arrest for getting intoxicated?
How else could they deal with this threat to the dolphins?
Obviously, there's disorderly conduct and public intoxication.
I bet they'll resist arrest too.
Yeah, because dolphins don't really have hands. They're going to fight you, and a dolphin will rape you.
Think of the money for the prison industrial complex here. I mean, they'll have to build whole new underwater prisons for the dolphins. This could be big.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about what you want to talk about. Phone lines are open. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE here on Free Talk Live. Mark with you.
Chris.
J-Love.
Want to talk to you about Balance of Nature. Balance of Nature is a product that we were introduced relatively recently by a friend of the show, and he actually puts together our podcast digest. And his name's Riley Blake, and he's a blind guy, but he's great with audio work, and he also happens to work at Balance of Nature. He does audio work for them, too. They do a lot of advertising on the radio. He hooked us up with them. And what I think is so awesome is that Balance of Nature has these fruit capsules and veggie capsules of theirs.
Ooh.
You take 3 fruit capsules and 3 veggie capsules, and you get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables. And we all know some days are better than others when it comes to getting our proper nutrition in. And if you didn't feel like you got your proper nutrition, bang, you can take care of it with these fruit and veggie caps. You can go online, become a preferred customer, which gives you the best pricing and free shipping. And after your 3rd month, Balance of Nature will ship to you at no extra charge an additional set of fruits and veggies. That's the bonus for being a preferred customer. It's a limited time offer, so don't wait. It's balanceofnature.com, and when you have to use the coupon code FTL. That's coupon code FTL at balanceofnature.com. And I've been taking this product. Some days, like I said, some days are better than others when it comes to fruits and vegetables, and I like it. I think it's a good product.
I like the fact that I was expecting crazy tastes.
No.
And I will say there's a good taste to the fruit one.
Mm-hmm.
The vegetable one has sort of a vegetable-y taste to it. Sometimes when I swallow the pill.
In a capsule?
Yeah, but it
kind of comes through, maybe.
Well,
yeah, and
I hate it when that happens.
The fruits and vegetables, I mean, that's all that's in this, guys. I mean,
so there's a separate capsule for fruit and vegetables?
That's correct.
Oh, okay, good, because I don't like them mixed together. In fact, I don't like it when people say fruits and vegetables together like it's
They're
the same
different things.
category, because they are not.
You don't like strawberry kale?
I do.
I'm just
when
kidding.
people say get your fruits and vegetables in, I want to get lots of vegetables and a little bit of fruit, maybe.
Yeah, some fruits, lots of veggies.
Fruit's my dessert. Nature's candy.
Agreed. The number, 855-450-3733. J-Love, you brought in a topic here that is sure to engender some disputes. Maybe even on the air. I don't know. Here, it's vaccines, and there have been some states,
right,
that around the nation that have changed their rules in a variety of different ways, intending that parents have fewer and fewer opportunities to opt their kids out of vaccines.
Right.
So I know California is one of them, and you say Maine also?
Yes, right after I moved to Maine.
Can you tell me some of the way these rules worked out?
And New York as well, and I believe there is 1 or 2 others, but I do have articles up here from New York and Maine.
Can we just cover what the actual dispute is? I mean, some people say vaccines are great. I've never had rubella. I've never had the mumps.
Measles, mumps, or rubella, right?
Yeah, so to speak. Yeah. So that's kind of bad and or kind of good. And if everybody's vaccinated, then nobody would get those diseases. Now, that's the world I grew up in back in the 1700s. Now, it's changed to me in the fact that when my son started getting vaccines, he didn't get 3 or 4 like I did. He was
74.
That's what it's up to now.
Yes.
So that makes me wonder too. So,
and a lot of times they go right after, the doctors realize that they may not see an infant again for a long time.
Right.
So they'll take them when they got them, the 2 days that they're in the hospital after birth, and they'll shoot them up with a bunch of stuff.
Like last night I was on a show called Abstract Transmissions, and that host told me that he did allow some vaccines. He picked and chose the ones he wanted, and he absolutely said no way when they tried to stick his newborn baby right after it was born.
Right, and I think that a lot of parents are... it seems, I don't know whether they're right, but it seems reasonable to be concerned with all of that medication at once. Or,
Right.
no one's going to claim that vaccines aren't a medical procedure.
Right.
And no one's going to claim that medical procedures don't have some level of risk.
Sure.
So I think that, the idea with vaccines is that we're administering these things to the masses with the intention of, the strong surviving and being disease-free in this way in order to protect the weak that can't get vaccines. But one of the things is we don't know who those people are. Who's the weak ones?
And in response to what you were saying, too, like if everybody's vaccinated, nobody gets sick. But the thing is that how is my unvaccinated child going to get your vaccinated child sick?
Right.
Well,
they
do talk about herd immunity and that there's, even though you've taken the vaccine, there's some chance of you getting it. But like the measles cases that they're talking about half of the people who are getting them
had vaccines.
Have had vaccines. And,
so why are we doing this?
And getting all whipped up about measles seems strange to me. The fatality rate with measles is well less than 1%.
Right.
Sure.
So you're not talking about a particularly deadly disease here. I mean, polio different story.
Smallpox.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
smallpox is eradicated thanks to vaccines. Yay.
Okay.
Or it's eradicated. You can determine whatever reason for yourself, but I presume it's because of vaccines. Polio's nearly eradicated. There's some places around the globe, mostly concentrated in the Pashtun region of Afghanistan and Pakistan, where it's not quite taken care of. And I guess the question I ask myself is that if the polio vaccine has some kind of consequence, let's say it's likely to kill you 1 in a million times.
Right.
What are the chances that my kid who lives in rural New Hampshire is going to get polio?
Well, I think
that the chances are very low, and if the chances are 1 in a million that he gets, that he dies from the polio vaccine, and 1 in 10 million, 100 million that he gets polio,
right.
Then I should not vaccinate him for polio. That's from what I can tell, that's the vaccine line turned on its head.
Yeah,
and that's a problem. With their numbers, and I can see why they want people to get polio vaccine. Sounds great because they don't have to deal with the whatever the consequences are, and we don't know what the consequences are all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend,
but we do know that the government is fully prepared to pay you for your dead and damaged children through the NVICP, National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program.
Yeah,
they say that while they talk about how safe these are.
Right, and there's special vaccine court that completely negates Big Pharma from any responsibility since 1986.
Right, it's a very interesting product, vaccines, because they have no the pharmacological companies have no responsibility for what goes on. They have this vaccine court. The pharmaceutical companies pay in whatever they pay in. They have to pay some certain amount in for their vaccines, and then that's it. That's how much money the court has, and the companies don't have to pay out in any way. We just saw with the OxyContin situation is that they're responsible for what they produce.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have an OxyContin court or program.
Don't give them ideas.
It may be coming down the pike.
The
I don't know.
acronyms will be all used up soon.
And it's, again, I'm not saying the vaccines don't do what they claim to do. Other people will claim otherwise, but let's say that they do what they say they're going to do. That doesn't mean that they don't do other things, and you can't do this. You can't use the scientific method to chase down all of these issues. So I think ultimately parents have to be able to make this decision. Yeah. And we're moving more and more towards a world where people don't want parents to be able to choose how their kids are raised.
Right.
Like in any way.
Yeah.
The health, the school, they're just not even your property anymore.
Brave New World was a warning. Not an operation manual. If you let the government raise kids, the government is going to do a poor job of it. Mm-hmm. Take a look at everything they do.
That is part of why I'm here, because part of the thing that I was reading that was actually news from a little while ago, though, was there is a call from conservatives and traditional homeschoolers that have generations of, homeschooling saying, look, this is really bad. our children and our entire society is being destroyed because of public schooling. And that's why I just wrote an article about the call to opt out of public schooling after these exemptions have been removed, because the kids won't be allowed to go to public school or be part of even vocational programs later or any college later or whatever. I'm not really that concerned about it for myself. But we have a lot of liberty people that, want to see that repealed. And I don't really want to see it repealed because I see it as an opportunity for us to put in some voluntary solutions.
What do you think? Do you think voluntary solutions are the right way to go on vaccines? Or do you think, well, we're just going to have to force people to do what we want them to do because it's important?
And they know better than we do.
The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live. Or use the Discord lines at discord.freetalklive.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is, the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,488, silver at $17.45, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,356. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, the U.S. government has concluded that Israel set up cell phone surveillance devices that were found near the White House and other sensitive locations around Washington, D.C. According to 3 former senior U.S. officials with knowledge of the matter, according to a report from NPR. Activist Post cites the website, saying the espionage actions were done through the use of stingrays utilizing International Mobile Subscriber Identity Catchers, or IMSI catchers, which capture the contents of calls, text, and data use. That's according to forensic analysis conducted by the FBI and other agencies working on the case that stated they felt confident that Israeli agents had placed the devices, according to the former officials who spoke to NPR. U.S. President Donald Trump responded to the allegations of Israel spying on the United States by scoffing at the report. Trump told reporters that he would find it, quote, hard to believe that the Israelis had placed the devices, end quote. An Israeli embassy spokesperson denied that Israel placed the devices, saying, quote, these allegations are absolute nonsense, end quote. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. A new report says the real United States national debt could be well over what politicians tell us. At a whopping $400 trillion, the U.S. debt would be 2,000% of GDP, according to new calculations that include the federal government, state, local, financial, and so-called entitlement debt. Activist Post reports that A.B. Bernstein, a global asset management firm based on Wall Street, came up with the figures by including in its analysis not only traditional levels of public debt, such as bonds, but also financial debt, as well as future obligations for entitlement programs. According to a report by CNBC, those include Social Security, Medicare, and public pensions, and are often left out of the discussion. They are unfunded liabilities and should be included if we're ever going to get an appropriate understanding of the government's mishandling of money. Activists on Thursday afternoon demonstrated against the detention and deportation of undocumented migrants at the Immigration and Customs Enforcement headquarters and the home of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. News to Share reports the group specifically focused on deaths of detainees, who they memorialized by placing flowers and photos at both locations.
We're here in front of ICE, the agency that is helping Donald Trump terrorize our communities.
The activists view Bezos as complicit in President Trump's immigration policies because Amazon provides technology to ICE. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Do you sometimes feel that healthy eating can be a lot of work with very little reward? Well, no need to worry any longer. Here are the Onion's tips for healthy eating. First, identify your weaknesses, and then condition yourself to avoid problem foods by associating them with deceased relatives, unrequited loves, and traumatic events. Remember, alcohol is a source of empty calories, so be sure to keep your drinking under control. Unless you're really stressed out, like if something happens at work or if your cat gets hit by a car. If you find yourself suddenly craving a fatty food, let yourself enjoy the best of both worlds. Take a slice of ham to your tongue and slowly absorb the taste throughout the day without swallowing. Stay motivated by paying yourself $1 every day until you meet your weight loss goals. At the end of 10 years' time, spend that cash on a cosmetic operation of your choice. There, now you're ready to begin your new healthy lifestyle.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. That's what we do here on Free Talk Live. It's a simple formula. We make it so that you are free to call in and talk live on the airwaves. We believe that we're probably not right on every issue every time, and you probably aren't either. And the only way that we're going to figure out who's right and who's wrong,
or maybe not,
is through discourse.
We talk.
That's true. We talk. And even if you don't figure out, or I don't figure out that we're right or wrong, that doesn't mean that somebody's not listening and figuring it out for themselves.
And I like to have my ideas, which are 100% correct, by the way. I like to have my ideas get challenged. And
how else are you going to find out whether they're correct or not unless they're getting challenged? People are asking you things. Because sometimes people think things that you haven't thought of. And I've had to rethink things here on the airwaves. That I've said, and I've changed my opinion because somebody said something that, all right, I'll take that to heart.
Kind of got a point there.
Nice.
But, the number is 855-450-3733. I wanted to bring in this show topic of Felicity Huffman. For those that don't know who she is, you said that she was on The Housewives?
Was she in Desperate Housewives?
Desperate Housewives.
Okay. She was great.
I'm not familiar with the show. I never watched it. But
before I went full Liberty, I was all into that.
She's just a famous person to me. And I see an actor next to her that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And so, just a Hollywood person. And apparently she has been sentenced for the dastardly crime of paying someone to paying $15,000 in an effort to boost her eldest daughter's SAT score.
No, you can't. You mean that rich people will sometimes pull strings because they can afford to get things that are better for their children?
I think that rich people probably get the best of everything, and that's how all the rest of us are able to afford what these things are. There was a time when only rich people could afford automobiles. Now everybody has them, right? There's a time when only rich people could afford salt, spices, all the things that we enjoy in our lives that make our lives worth living. In many cases, our poor ancestors couldn't afford them. And rich people bring down the prices of things so the rest of us can have them. Now, I get that people like a level playing field, and the idea that somebody pays $15,000 to cheat on a test, that sounds bad. But that also sounds like something that should be handled by, the test-taking company, colleges. I mean, maybe it should be reported on, but I don't think there's any particular reason to throw anybody in jail over it.
Right. And you're not going to stop it. You're going to get some headlines, and that's going to be the end of it, and then some very wealthy person who's got a whole bunch of money can hire somebody in Bangladesh to take your kid's test for you. It's going to happen.
I don't know what the ins and outs of this. In this case, was the SAT score, but she did what she had to do here, which was going before the U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani, and saying that she's terribly sorry. And that she's, throws herself on the mercy of the court. The judges says that being a good mother doesn't excuse this. She noted Huffman did not participate in the scheme for her second daughter. In terms of your moving forward and rehabilitation, move forward and rebuild your life after this. You pay your dues. Before sentencing, Huffman tearfully apologized, and she was deeply sorry for her actions. She also apologized directly to her daughter, Sophia. I can only say I'm sorry, Sophia. I was frightened and stupid, and now I see all the things I knew was wrong, and I realize that I now love and truth must go hand in hand and take full responsibility for my actions. And she got 14 days in jail. And Twitter, of course, erupts with all kinds of opinions surrounding this. Part of that includes this notion of white privilege, as though Felicity Huffman got 14 days in jail for paying $15,000 to cheat on an SAT because she's white. I suspect she got what I would call a lenient sentence because everybody's being over-sentenced in so many cases. I would say that she got, I don't know what those 14 days in jail are going to do to make Felicity Huffman a better person.
Might get her
if she's a bad person.
She might get a new role.
I mean, she's going to get publicity.
Yeah, it's publicity.
So there you go.
So I'm not impressed with this 14-day sentence, but I don't think she should go to jail at all. I don't think there's any point in it. I think jail's for people who are too violent to live with the rest of us.
Like people who smoke marijuana.
Right. Well, and I think that this is a rightful complaint that's going on out there is that, well, why did she get so little when other nonviolent crimes get so much as far as time goes?
Mm-hmm.
I got to research this, but I saw a meme and it was indicating that this lady was sentenced to 5 years because she accidentally sent her child to the wrong school district.
What?
I've heard of parents getting sentences for sending their kids to the wrong school district willfully. Mind you,
twisted.
I went to the wrong school district.
Ooh.
On purpose.
What happened?
Mine sucked.
What?
The government school district that I lived in sucked. It was the worst one in town. And I didn't want to go to that one. I wanted to go to the one that my grandmother lived in, so we used my grandmother's address.
Uh-huh.
And, you want to come get me? Come get me. My name's Mark Edge. I'm here waiting for you. Throw me in jail for it. My parents paid for the crappy government school system for the 13 years that I was going to school, and I only used their government school system for 3 of them.
Yeah.
So big, fat, hairy deal. But, parents wanting better things for their kids, that doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't make me want to throw anybody in jail.
Right.
But I would say that Felicity Huffman probably got the lenient sentence based on her class, not on her color.
And I got to say, what parents should be angry about is what organization allowed this cheating to happen. So there's some schools you can go to and they won't really even monitor what your testing is. I mean, it cheapens the whole point of it.
Well, the testing when I took the SAT and the ACT, it was done at a school and it was administered by a teacher, but it was administered by a teacher from a different school. They really didn't know who was taking the exam.
That's interesting.
And if you could... maybe they had IDs or something. I don't remember that part, but the teacher wouldn't necessarily know that it was us. It wasn't because the problem is you can't have like the teacher from the school's SAT preparation class administer the SAT because, well, they'd really like their students to do well.
Right.
So what they need to do is they need to find this sort of unbiased third party, a teacher that doesn't necessarily know them. So they, produce an ID or whatever. Well, what if they've got a good fake ID? $15,000, I suspect, will get you a good fake ID. I don't know how this works. Just saying. I mean, maybe if some Indian kid walks in with the name, William Sanders, maybe they should take a second look. But, what are they supposed to do? And at some point or another, if you make the prize high enough, and the prize for going to Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Dartmouth, Columbia, Cambridge, University of Pennsylvania. I'm trying here. What was that last one? There's got to be one more.
Dartmouth?
Now I mentioned Dartmouth.
Okay.
Anyway, I named the Ivy League schools there. And if, the prize for doing that is high, Brown. Yeah. And if you want that prize for your kid, and everybody does, like, I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm willing to bet that a large percentage of Americans want their kid to go to an Ivy League school on a scholarship. If the prize is high enough, then ultimately people are going to cheat to get it. Maybe the prize shouldn't be so high. Maybe an Ivy League education shouldn't afford you the kind of power and influence it does.
But it does.
I recently looked it up, and most of the presidents that we've had in the last 5 decades were all Ivy League or a military college.
I believe it.
Yeah. The number 855-450-3733. The vast majority. 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Warning, this is a privacy alert. You are being spied on right now as I speak by your phone. If you want this to stop, visit GoDarkBags.com and we'll show you how elite military units protect themselves and how you can too. Go Dark Bags are lab tested and guaranteed for life. Visit GoDarkBags.com now and enter discount code FTL to save 15%. That's GoDarkBags.com. Discount code FTL. Your privacy depends on it. End transmission.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Every
everything we tried failed except the Dynavite.
Pick up 2 bottles of Super Mega Fish Oil.
Get the 3rd bottle free, packed with omega-3, DHA, and EPA fatty acids.
Super Mega is great for your dog's immune system, healthy skin, and soft, shiny fur.
Dogs love it. Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynavite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced 6-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years with experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. We have been across the board tonight talking about Felicity Huffman right now and the 14-day sentence she got. Willing to take your thoughts on that at 855-450-3733. Recently talked about vaccines, and as a matter of fact, that's what Bad Slave is calling in about. I'll talk to you about that here in just a moment, but I first want to tell you about the AMP program at AMP, that's amp.freetalklive.com. That's amp.freetalklive.com, where you can go and do what Reasonable Voice has done. And Reasonable Voice is the name that they gave us, and that's how we talk. We thank them here on the air, so thanks, Reasonable Voice. You can do what they've done and support us with $5 a month. We give away everything free on the website, so you don't have to pay to get downloads or access to the hosts or any of that stuff. The Facebook page that we've got for amplifiers, or the Discord room that we've got for amplifiers, or all the other bennies we've got. Just go to amp.freetalklive.com. You can see the bennies there, and you can support the show. It's amp.freetalklive.com. Let's go to Bad Slave, calling in on the Discord lines. Bad Slave, you're on Free Talk Live.
Thank you very much, Mark and Chris, and really great to see you, Jessica.
Hi, Abel.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been way, way, way too long since we've done a face-to-face, and I hope to improve that situation in the near future. Are you in New Hampshire often? Are you? I've heard Maine is.
I just moved to Maine in April. I came to New Hampshire last night to do a show over in Somersworth and drove back to Maine and then came back to New Hampshire today.
Okay, but you do come to Manchester once in a while.
Let's get on to the topic here, if we could.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. The vaccines. One of the things that I was concerned about. My granddaughters are now at that age of, getting made into pincushions. And
what is that age? I thought it was like when you were born.
Right.
Yep.
Well, it is. It starts out then, but it continues on until 2 or 5 or I don't even know. But what I did find out, listening to a doctor on a video, a YouTube video, a doctor in Orlando, where my granddaughters are, and they're like almost 2 and 4, and their mother has, dedicated themselves to, some portion of the shots, I'm sure, that I would consider excessive. I think when, my own children, who are in their late 30s now, are, we had like 5 shots or something like that.
Right, that's what I remember, Abel.
It's 74 now.
There used to be.
No, I heard from this pediatrician in Orlando, where my kids are. I heard that she actually is scheduling 117 needle sticks.
Well, I'm sure it's a moving target. I guess I just question whether all these things are effective, number one, safe, or necessary.
Well, there's so much aluminum and mercury.
I don't.
As I understand, the mercury's been removed from the vaccines because of parental concern.
But the amount, the cumulative amount of mercury and aluminum are way past even the I'm deathly afraid of the future of American children.
Well, if their goal is just to kill all future generations, so we have a population of 0, this is how you could do it.
Well,
but I don't believe that's the case. I think that there's probably some bad stuff out there. They're bad companies who might be producing vaccines. What I really have issue with is just the government telling us that you have to do all these things. It needs to be a choice. Yeah. I think the idea of, herd immunization is very effective. Ask any veterinarian. They will tell you how effective it is. But I question whether I want to be considered part of a herd.
The one thing that concerns me, and I'm pretty much on board with vaccines as far as I think that they do what they say they're going to do. It's the problem is that I don't think that the people have become so polarized on the issue. I don't think that a medical professional can look at something that happens to a kid after a vaccine and give an unbiased opinion as to whether or not it's related.
Yeah.
And I'll give a case in point. I took the flu vaccine. I became deathly ill. Like, I'm talking 103 degree temperature. In an adult, that can be you're on the
rough.
Yeah, that's brain damage levels. And I think I pulled through, but maybe not. Who knows? And I talked to a medical professional about it, more than one. They all told me it was completely unrelated, that the flu vaccine sometimes doesn't affect and so you got the flu, you got a different strain, whatever. Go take it again.
Yeah.
But you have
So the next year, I did the same thing, and I got sick again. 102 degree temperature. And look, I'm not doing this again.
You might have some sensitivity. What I do question about people is when they hear that a celeb, Jenny McCarthy, came out and she said all this stuff. Well, Jenny McCarthy's Jenny McCarthy, and she was great in Playboy, and I will recognize her for her talents.
Hell yeah.
But does that make her a medical professional? No, and I just want to make my own decisions.
But what about all the moms and all the damaged children? Like, when do we start listening to the mothers?
Well, right, and that's the thing is some of those kids...
Because obviously there's a conflict of interest for doctors.
Right, and some of those kids are probably, damaged for reasons that are completely extraneous to the vaccine.
The Special Vaccine Fund paid out $160 million this year so far.
We'll never know.
How many vaccines
and
were
how many
given?
were unreported? I mean, how many people are dead and damaged that didn't even apply to the fund because most people don't even know that the fund and the Special Vaccine Court exists.
Go ahead, Batslave.
Yeah, I wanted to say that this it was like a 20-minute video, so it wasn't terribly long. But the things that this woman, this pediatrician, who was not a fresh-faced kid, she was, in her
a battle-hardened
middle
veteran.
age. She had experience. She's treated many children.
Sure.
And this woman was saying something is up with these vaccines. Something is harming the children that are coming into her own clinic. And there's been too much correlation between these children, some of them dying.
Well, yeah, and that's what I want. I hate to make it about numbers, but I do want to know how many total vaccines are administered every year and what percentage of people experience a bad effect.
Yeah, we don't know whether they have a bad effect or not. I want to know how many people die within 5 days after getting a vaccine.
Probably more people than
one of our friends in Manchester.
Right.
Yeah. His
Thanks for the call. That's life.
His 1-year-old died in the car on the way home.
My God. Can you imagine? And then to think that doesn't have anything to do with it.
And he got $20,000 from the fund.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Now, Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, marketfreetalklive.com.
Pretty much.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. The number is 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
J-Love.
And you can call in and talk about whatever you want to talk about at 855-450-3733. We've been across the board tonight talking about vaccines most recently, but also gay presidents and, an American Civil War and this Felicity Huffman getting 14 days in jail, and just a whole bunch of different things. Before we go on, I want to tell you about Alpha Male 2.0. Do you feel stuck in a job or relationship or both? Caleb Jones has taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income, location-independent businesses. That sounds great to me. And how to date women under your terms. 2.0 Alpha Males have learned how to break free and how to truly live. Shouldn't you be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and not have to ask permission or to answer to anyone? To date whomever you want, even if you're already in a relationship. Living in a free society isn't going to help you much if your life isn't free. Visit freelifeinfo.com and download the Alpha Male 2.0 Starter Pack for free. It's included 7 free books and a podcast so that you can start living a truly free life right now. Alpha Male 2.0 Starter Pack will show you the exact strategies Caleb and his team use to get better with women, increase their income and personal freedom and happiness. Get your free Alpha Male 2.0 Starter Pack at freelifeinfo.com. It's freelifeinfo.com. I'm interested in that, working from wherever you want thing, but I don't suspect my wife's going to go for the rest of that stuff.
Rock on. I don't know. It sounded good to me.
freelifeinfo.com. So, we were talking about Felicity Huffman and also vaccines. If you want to talk about vaccines, you can call in at 855-450-3733. But I'm interested in this Felicity Huffman case because not so much that a rich person paid money to cheat to get their kid into an important university. That sounds like something that a lot of people would do if they thought they could get away with it.
And if they had the means.
Right.
Yeah.
$15,000, mind you, is chump change compared to what people pay to get their kids into Harvard and Yale and all the other Ivy League schools and the great schools. I mean, what do high schools like Phillips Exeter? That's the best high school in the nation, and I know they've got another one down in Massachusetts. It's also Phillips something. I think it's Phillips Andover, and like all these schools. What currency do they trade in if it is not your kids? If your kid can go here, your kid can go to any college your kid wants to go to. I mean, isn't that essentially what you're paying for when you send your kid to one of these, fancy schmancy sleepaway schools?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea. That what's got everybody fired up is this is a rich person who cheated, quote unquote, cheated.
Right. She cheated. I mean, best I can tell. So, I mean, there was cheating going on as far as the SAT goes. I just wonder when you have a no victim, no crime situation, or no victim situation, how many people would do it?
Well, see, Mark, everybody's a victim because now your son might have been up for one of those slots.
They got the slot instead.
At Yale. They got... But I don't buy that. It's an indirect crime, twice removed. I mean, that's not what we're supposed to be about.
I'll bet you Felicity Huffman would have paid full boat to get her oldest daughter, Sophia, into any one of these Ivy League schools.
Oh, yeah.
Full boat. And so this isn't about taking the scholarship that they would get, the need-based scholarship, and most of these universities don't look at money at all. It's just they accept you or they don't accept you, and now let's figure out what you can afford, because they're more or less not even universities anymore. They're endowments with an education component.
Yeah,
And
a sports program.
Right. There's something here about the SAT scores. I'm going to read this real quick. In 2017, Huffman paid $15,000 to William Singer, admissions consultant who allegedly bribed a test proctor to make corrections on her daughter's SAT. Her daughter received a score of 1420, approximately 400 points over her PSAT score from that year prior, according to the federal indictment. And Huffman pleaded guilty to a single count of conspiracy and fraud in May. Let's presume she did it, because I don't believe pleading guilty or being charged or any of that stuff is really that much of an indication of somebody's guilt.
Right.
But let's just go ahead and say it's true. I'll just go ahead and say it's true. Fine. I suspect it is. If you gave all the students who take this test, right, this important test, the SAT, and the ACT is important too, that take these tests, if you were to be able to sort of secretly walk into the homes of these parents of these students and say, hey, I'll take X number of dollars, in her case it was $15,000. A lot of Americans can't put their hands on that kind of money. But if they had a little time, they can.
Right.
So let's say we bring it down to regular pricing. For $4,000, I will, make sure that your kid gets a 1,400 plus score on the SAT. I don't know how many Americans would do it, but I suspect a lot of them would.
If there were more of a free market in test cheating, the price would come down.
That much is true. I don't think that the test is obviously intended to administer, to find out how good people are in school. I don't know how good it is at that. And not all colleges pay that much attention to it. I also think college is a bit overrated, but I don't think that Ivy League schools are overrated.
I don't either.
I think that Ivy League schools sell something beyond an education.
Connections.
Big time. MIT's entire coursework is online for free. This is arguably one of the best 5 universities in the world. All right?
Yeah.
MIT's curriculum is all online. If you want to get college educated, and the best college educated you want to be, you can do it right now. It's not about the education. It's about the influence, the connections, the gravitas of the degree. If somebody's there's a great example in the Liberty Movement. Man named Tom Woods.
Sure.
Tom Woods is a very intelligent man. But you can just listen to his show and, watch what he does. He doesn't mind mentioning that he went to Harvard.
No.
He doesn't mind mentioning that I'm a conservative that came out of Harvard. Yeah, he's a libertarian, but I think he doesn't mind using the term conservative. I don't intend to speak for Tom.
Right.
But I don't think I'm calling Tom Woods out. I'm not intending to. I'm saying that the fact that he went to Harvard is meaningful to people. It says, this is a man who's extraordinarily intelligent.
Oh, Harvard?
But I think MIT is a better school.
Sure.
Yeah, And I think that Harvard and Yale and Princeton and these sorts of schools simply have this, I don't know what to call it, influence. Remember when George Bush and John Kerry were running against each other? We had two guys that were in not just Ivy League schools, not just the same Ivy League school, the same club, the Skull and Bones,
yes,
running against each other.
I'm surprised they didn't have some sort of secret bylaw against them running against each other.
I am stunned. I was stunned that the idea that these two people were in the same club at the same university. I don't think it was at the same time, but maybe it was. I don't know.
My takeaway is that when we peel back American politics, it really is all one club, and we're not in it.
Oh, no. You're not in it, and you can never be in it.
And I think the real club's probably something closer to the Skull and Bones than American politics and people.
I think that is not an uncommon way of thinking of American politics, and I, on my more cynical days, I may agree with you in that way. I hope that there's a little more, concern back and forth. But that old yucker do I'm from Texas thing, bullcrap. You're from Connecticut. You went to Harvard. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733. What do you think? Felicity Huffman over-sentenced, under-sentenced? Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE is in
Most
freedom.
of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com. Or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Final segment here on Free Talk Live. You can call in and still get on the air. The possibility exists. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 and then free. The word free is in freedom. It's Mark with you.
Chris.
And J-Love.
J-Love, thank you for coming in and sitting with us here on a Saturday night. You could have been doing so many other things. You've been wonderful to have.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Going on with the story about Felicity Huffman.
Mm-hmm.
Prosecutors had sought a 1-year sentence for Huffman. Federal prosecutor Eric Rosen said, with all due respect to the defendant, welcome to parenthood.
Ooh, wow, he told her.
This is what every parent goes through, Rosen said. What parenthood does not do, it does not make you a felon. It does not make you a cheat. We all want the best for our children, but most parents have the moral compass not to step over the line. And I don't know whether I agree with Mr. Rosen's sanctimonious bullcrap.
Well, I want to know when he's running for district attorney, because that sounds like a campaign speech.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, that's what all these prosecutors are doing.
Sure.
But I really do wonder how many parents, if given the opportunity to exchange money for their kid getting a score that was higher than they, said otherwise, that they would have gotten otherwise, how many parents would do it? And I think the number, maybe it's not a majority. Maybe it is.
Well, I mean, the SAT prep business is big business.
Sure.
If you've got a kid in school, you're gonna get mail and you're gonna get handouts. Up your score, study and do this, and we can tutor you and you'll score better.
Right.
People already spend lots of money on this idea.
And it's important to point out, it's not like you are like the SAT was intended to. When I took it, it was basically like, you don't need to prep for this. It's just a test of what you know. So don't prep for this.
Right.
And fine. I took that to heart. Now, there were other kids that did not take that to heart. And they, were put through classes and the rigmarole and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what I think happens is you get, you take these classes, you probably get better at taking the SAT, which is a skill that is only useful for taking the SAT. Or the ACT. I mean, I don't want to somehow just single out the SAT here and give them a bunch of free advertising. The ACT is another test. It has a different grading system, that kind of thing. I mean, these parents that are spending money on their kids going to take these classes probably likely understand that their kid isn't really getting anything out of the class except getting a better score on the SAT. That's not about life education. It's about taking this test better.
Well, there's another take on this. I'm thinking, and exclude the Ivy Leagues. Those have their own set of benefits, and those are always going to be in demand.
Right.
But when you talk about college in general, I think people and parents and students are waking up to the fact that if I put $50,000 or $100,000 into a college degree, I will never get my money back. It is not a good investment. My son son or daughter is going to be better off going to a trade school. They're going to be better off going to nursing school. They're going to be better off,
at the very least, better off going to community college for the first 2 years and then getting the degree, whatever that might be.
Right. I think what this might be sort of indicative of is people's disillusion with higher education. Does it really apply? I mean, I know you can make $75,000, $80,000 if you want to be a plumber.
Yeah.
That's pretty dang good money.
I don't think I've ever met a poor plumber.
No, and I guarantee you won't.
Offering six figures to electricians right now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there are lots of jobs like that. Coders, kids that just want to program. They're going to make a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can get somebody to come to your house and do anything. I don't care if it's carpentry work or lawn maintenance or anything like that for less than $100 for the visit.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert in all this, but that's what I've found over the time. But it's something I can't fix.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to have to call somebody in and. I think that, yes, we're entering a world where trades are finally getting the understanding that they deserve, because you can't ship in a plumber from China.
And I think colleges were just oversold that this is the solution. This is how you gain success in America. Yeah. And then America changed. Now suddenly we don't have enough plumbers. We don't have enough electricians.
Right. This is also
these are the jobs in demand.
This is also something that we talk about as far as voluntary solutions for our unvaccinated or even vaccinated homeschoolers. Is that we get together and we're trying to have parents teach kids these skills without
a homeschool co-op.
Yeah. And so like my partner welds and he fixes cars, and now I have another friend that welds, and like nobody in the co-ops are offering that type of thing. It's all like lessons about this or that,
Sure.
but like let's get some hands-on stuff going for these kids.
Right. It's very interesting because government school sets the marker for how education works in many ways. 85% of American kids go to a government school, and that defines what education is. I went to a government school.
I was homeschooled.
Yeah, you were homeschooled. Yep. I went to a government school, and that government school, I'm just not going to forgive them for the fact that I don't know anything about doing taxes.
Yeah.
But I can, I can figure out what the sine, the cosine, or the tangent of a triangle is.
Yep.
I have never used that information at all. Sorry, the Pythagorean theorem has not been useful to me in my life.
Right.
But boy, oh boy, can I diagram a sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually public schooled up till 6th grade, and then homeschooled, but I wasn't learning anything, and I dropped out in middle school and got a GED.
In middle school, you got a GED.
I dropped out in middle school. I basically quit doing the work, and then I just took the GED at 16, no problem.
Yeah.
But I got a PhD in life.
I got to say, I'm like the only person who had a decent public school experience, because I graduated top 10 in my class out of 12. So I had the advantage of a very small school. It was as close to homeschooling as you could get and be in a public schooling. And we had when computers came out, we had 4 computers for 12 kids.
Impressive.
Yeah, it was insane. But not everybody gets that. And now it's about making the biggest possible school district you can so you can centralize your costs and try to get ahead that way. It's pathetic.
Yeah, I think that many Americans are becoming disillusioned with what college provides. And it's not because college isn't a fine thing to do. Mostly in your life from 18 to 22, you're messing things up anyway.
Right.
So if you're going to mess them up in college, that's all fine and dandy. But walking out with $50,000, $75,000, $100,000 in debt for screwing around and getting some degree that's likely pointless, like a communications degree. How many people have written me with, I went to broadcasting school, got myself a communications degree, and I'd like to talk to you about Free Talk Live and getting a job.
Well, that was your problem. You need to study gender studies. You need a bachelor's in gender studies.
Yep. Yeah.
And what are you going to do with that?
Right. And so many of these degrees are just, one wonders, why are people paying for these things?
And who sold you this with a straight face? I really got to ask.
Well, they're selling it because people want it.
Yeah.
They want that, and the teachers want to teach it. There's teachers out there that definitely want to teach these things.
Yep.
And this is what we're descending into. And then people get out with their bachelors, in some cases their masters, and they're tending bar, doing barista work.
Bartending makes a lot of money. I've waited tables for 8 years while I'm in between.
But you didn't need the degree to do it.
Right.
No, but there's a lot of money to be made there. People that have degrees can't believe how much money I come out of the restaurant with in tips.
Right.
Whoops.
We've got a guy on the air here.
I've been working on business ideas my whole life, and I just use that to supplement.
Got a guy on the air here who I'm not going to say what he does for a living, but it isn't something that you need a degree for. He's got an MBA.
Yeah.
And
you need a personality and some sales skills.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The MBA is probably a good idea if you're running a company that has, 50, 100 employees or something like that. But there's only so many companies out there that size and larger. And some of them you probably don't even need the MBA to run.
Well, all of them over 50 employees folded after Obamacare. So,
well, yeah, that was right. Obamacare makes it so everybody's got 49 employees and a bunch of contractors.
Right.
I don't know. Ultimately, with Felicity Huffman, I am unimpressed that a rich person got a small sentence because, surprise.
And I'm not surprised at all.
And I think that prisons should be reserved for people that are dangerous to society. Yeah, let everybody know she did this. That's fine. Did she cheat? She sure did. But I wonder how many Americans would have. Check us out in the meantime, freetalklive.com. You can go there, sign up for our newsletter, find out all the wonderful things that are going on at Free Talk Live. freetalklive.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android.